Committing frees up a lot of space, part 2. Committing frees up a lot of space, part 2. In this episode, it's going to be about committing to a specific idea. All right, listen in.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end, the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Part 2. Committing has freed up all this amazing space for me and freed up energy and work capacity and the ability to get stuff done on a much faster pace. I'm not sure if I said this on the last episode, but right now I'm all about execution and spreading the message. Executing and spreading the message. I'm just laughing as I say that because before, when I wasn't committed to an audience and to a specific idea, man, lots of shiny objects flying around. Very hard to execute because there were so many shiny ideas to execute on. So I was constantly trying new ideas, trying new things, new audiences, this episode's about ideas, of course, but new and different. And I'm not saying that's bad. Actually, I'm a big proponent of Russell Brunson and his teachings, .com secrets, expert secrets, traffic secrets, and in expert secrets, he says go out and try different things and find out what your passion is. Like, find it out. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been trying different things, and I keep getting ideas where I'm like, ooh, that's what I'm passionate about. Ooh, that's what I'm passionate about. Ooh, that's what I'm passionate about. And I would be passionate about something. So, for a while it was the Tools for a Good Life Summit and healing modalities and helping people meditate and heal and forgive and all this kind of stuff, which is amazing. And it's helped me so much, and I get to carry so much of those ideas into what I'm doing now. Hence the heart-centered entrepreneur. Like, I speak that language, all those modalities. I love them. Meditation, Eastern philosophy, what else? Journaling, journaling coupled with those things. Lots of people journal, but I think journaling is a hint into the heart-centered entrepreneur and art-centered entrepreneur, and journaling tactically for growth, right? Like journaling in a way that you're looking at, all right, what are my thoughts? How am I thinking? Is it clean? What are my motives? Am I resentful? Am I selfish? Am I dishonest? Am I being afraid? Am I not trusting in God? And writing about that stuff, like willing to look at the dark side and writing about it, not to beat ourselves up, but to grow from it, to see our humanness, and also to see other people's humanness, because we're all in it, right? What did one of my coaches say to me the other day? Literally said, "Welcome to the human race, Misha." Because I was like, oh my gosh, I felt these emotions and I let them flow through. And she's like, "Welcome to the human race." Mind you, I thought I'd been doing a pretty good job at it. But my whole life. Anyway, look at me hedging. I want you to think I'm perhaps... how do I want to say it? I am very emotionally mature. I'm going to claim that. I'm extremely emotionally mature. I've done a ton of work. However, I can feel separation from the human race sometimes. I can. Oh, it's so nice to be human and be like, oh yeah, that's normal human feelings. You don't need to be better than human. Oh my gosh, it's so freeing. Anyway, thank you for listening to that little tangent. What's the other thought? I'm going to give you one before I move on. I absolutely believe right now, and I'm working from the space of the best is the enemy of good enough. The best is enemy of good enough. There's so much work that we do in the entrepreneurial space where good enough is more than good enough. Like, good enough, get to market, test, try, learn, test, try, learn. All in that space right now. And it's all testing, trying, learning. It's just a learning experience. There is no good or bad. Bring your idea, test it, try it, learn. Whatever that is around the entrepreneurship that we're doing. And I'm going to stick to that. I no longer subscribe to good is the enemy of the best. The best is enemy of good. There's plenty of people that are suffering and not taking action because they think it needs to be the best. And so their ideas are languishing. They're suffering in that space of knowing they should be putting themselves out there, talking, doing, testing, trying, learning. Okay, back at it here. So ideas. So then it was, there was a space of where I realized, you know what? I do want to help entrepreneurs. I don't really want to focus on divorced dads. That's kind of what I was in this space because I am a divorced dad myself. I went through some midlife crisis upheaval and I'm like, yeah, I can help divorced dads. And I'm like, that's not my destiny to help divorced dads. I do so much support for free in the recovery communities. I volunteer so much time that I'm like, yeah, I do plenty of that. Let somebody else help the divorced dads. It turns out there's heart-centered entrepreneurs out there for me to help who need my superpowers. On the last episode, if you listen to it, I was telling you some of those heart-centered entrepreneurs who are so grateful to have found me and land in my influence army membership. But anyway, then where did it go to? It went to content and I was learning how to make micro content as I'm interviewing all these people and having all these great interviews, and then I'm repurposing that content into clips and reels and TikToks and all that kind of stuff, and it starts creating all this engagement and interest and authority in what I'm doing. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the content repurposing guy. And let me tell you something. That's a big market right now that's growing and growing fast. Being content repurposing guy is not a bad thing. Like, that's a great thing to be. Who's doing it? Eric Thane right now is helping people create and repurpose content. How about create and create and deploy. Create and deploy content. I got to see Eric Thane speak at the Mastermind in Paradise. And he'll be speaking at Funnel Hacking Live 2023. But he's a content guy. And he's crushing, helping people at scale. He's got a whole network of people that can help you create this content. So Eric doesn't need to go out to your location with his camera and script. He sends somebody in his network out to your location who's gifted at what they do. And so, and then what did I go to? Testimonials. Love testimonials. I love getting customer stories. I love the heart-centered testimonials. I love talking to the people who are willing to put it all on the line. Like tell the stuff that other entrepreneurs won't. So many entrepreneurs out there who are so controlled with their message, and it's served them very, 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 very well. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but my way can work, as my coach likes to tell me, who I told somebody today. Your way can work and is working. Yes, my way can work, Misha, and it is working. But then I had that aha moment as I announced I was going on my own guest speaking tour. And a couple things led up to that. I've talked about it a couple times. One was I felt the power of guest speaking. I had tremendous success in a guest speaking moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, And I had seen so many people suffering, entrepreneurs out there suffering, throwing good money after bad, right? And I'm like, they're suffering, they're wasting their money, throwing it at Facebook ads and all these ads, social media ads, these social media ad strategies that are just brutal. Like, you got to have your act together to be able to leverage social media. Your stories need to be dialed in. Your messaging needs to be dialed in. Man, the shotgun approach, or trying to figure out your messaging by spending money on ads, yeah, I've seen plenty of people fail and flounder and suffer and fall out of their entrepreneur dreams. And so I was like, oh my gosh, the heart-centered entrepreneurs, they need help telling their stories, getting their customer stories, where to use them, how to use them to be more effective. And then I had the moment where Stacy said to me, Misha, you're the one that moves the needle in my business. Like, I pay all these other people. You're the one that moves the needle. You're the one that makes it rain. Out of all these other people, she's a gifted rainmaker, trust me. But I was able to be an extension of her with what I do. And with the testimonial and video work I was doing and the strategies and all the stuff, just my knowledge as a seasoned 20-year sales professional in both B2B and B2C and everything. She's a heart-centered entrepreneur, by the way. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how do I get more Stacy's is what I was thinking. But anyway, Stacy goes, you move the needle. And so I realized, oh my gosh, I'm bringing serious value here. Plenty of people had been telling me that, but in that moment, and then she threw a number at me. She was like, oh, you literally drove $70,000 in revenue for me with what you did. Let me fly you to Aspen. Those were her next words. I'm flying you to Aspen next week. Book your ticket. I have to have you there. You're the one who moves the needle in my business. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have value. I'm bringing value. I do bring value. So I knew in that moment, well, a few other little things happened, but I'm going to cut to the chase and say, okay, I know what I can help people do. They need to focus on organic traffic strategies, and actually on these specific organic traffic strategies. And the way I do it will blow your mind, because that's what I do. I find the niches, I figure out how to mine it, systemize it, how to get your messaging dialed in, how to get everything dialed in so that you can, when you go on your influence tour, blow it out of the water. And I'm like, oh my gosh, heart-centered entrepreneurs. And so everything is coalescing right now where I'm like, yeah, the influence army, I need to build this out ASAP, and I am building it out, and I've got founding members. And I'm going to show people with the support of the membership how to go on an influence tour and dial everything in. It's impossibly easy to find what shows you want to get on those shows, to get your messaging dialed in so that when you're speaking to your perfect audiences, that's the thing, you're finding the shows that have the perfect audiences for you, and that you know how to inspire those people to action by telling the stories at the right time, the right stories at the right time, and how you serve and how you can serve them and help them. And you've got all that dialed in. And then you're like, yep, I help make it impossibly easy for you to create the space for them to opt in so they can take action. So not only do they want to take action, but I make it easy for them to take action, to give you what you need. So you're like, this is how you take action, and allow me to help you. Anyway, now I'm like clear, heart-centered entrepreneurs, building this membership, the Influence Army membership, because we are a storm that is rising. And let's get you on that influence tour so you can freaking help people. You can get your message out there in a big way, explode your authority, impact, and income. Little side benefit there. But anyway, having that dialed in so much, like, it's easy for me to execute. All these other shiny objects start coming through my sphere, and I'm like, yeah, nope. I got my avatar clear as a bell, and I know how I can help them. And they're telling me how I can help them, and we're building it together. My vision is pure. They're helping me refine that vision. And when I was up until a couple months ago, I'll be perfectly honest with you, everybody I'd talk to, I'd be like, are they doing what I want to do? Can I help them maybe? Can I help them with their messaging? Am I doing the right things? And testing and trying, and shiny object after shiny object, where I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should be doing that. And then I'd put time and effort into thinking about doing that, and work on that messaging a little bit, and doing market research on that person, and then talking to more people like them and being like, oh, that was a rabbit hole. But amazing. I've literally learned so much, so I'm not begrudging any of it. And anybody that's in that space, keep testing and trying. Keep testing and trying and learning. It's taken me 3 years. Almost. Actually, it's longer than 3 years. It's 3 years since I joined the 2CCX until I plunked down serious cash. Until I was like, yeah, I'm all in on finding my purpose, shall we say, or finding how I can serve coming out of semi-retirement. I was fully retired. I was getting my kids through high school, holding space for my boys, spending money that was in the bank. Can I tell you how hard of a leap that was? To be like, I'm going to take the next 7 years and live off savings. And let me tell you something. I had alimony payments, child support payments, and I'm a competitive dude. I don't want to say competitive, because that's, well, I can be, but that's weaned out a lot. Like, I'm much more of a abundance mindset versus the super competitive zero-sum game that stopped serving me a long time ago. So I've been able to uncouple myself from that, or decouple from that. But I was being a stay-at-home-ish dad. I like to say stay-at-home-ish dad. Kids and space for kids were number one. Yes. And I'm like, God, trusting in God. Trusting in God. I intuitively knew as soon as those boys get out of high school, or darn close, that new entrepreneurial windows and doors and adventure went open. And you know what? My intuition was right. But anyway, so 3 years ago was when one of my boys had moved out, and the other one was a senior just about to graduate. And I was like, yeah, it's time to plunk down some cash and jump in a legit coaching group. And I got sign off from Waylon, my youngest. I was like, I'm doing this. This is how much I'm spending. Dad, you're crazy. Maybe so. Just so you know, you're not going to have quite as much time with me as you used to, potentially. Which was a lie, of course, because I was always prioritizing those darn boys, which I'm grateful for and love to. But they need less and less of it. So anyway, I would say 3.5, 4 years ago is when I started dabbling in online stuff and being like, oh, what's this social media? What's this digital marketing landscape? because I'd pretty much shut myself off from it. Didn't want the distractions. And so now it's all coming together. Super exciting. Testing, trying, learning. Now I'm focused and have so much space to execute and serve my heart-centered entrepreneurs and my influence army idea, that membership that is being built and working, and I'm serving, and people are like, Misha, this is amazing. People that my founding members, it's the best thing ever, perfect thing at the perfect time for us. And so now I'm like, how can I serve that person, that avatar? It's clear in my head. And so when something interferes with that, I'm like, nope. So it makes it really easy. I've got so much time and space. If you're working towards that, hang in there. Keep trying. Don't give up yet. Keep testing and trying different things. Don't be scared to divert and do different things. But just know that committing to an audience and committing to an idea, I no longer, another idea flows through, and I'm like, is that going to help me execute on the influence army right now and helping my people on their influence tours, getting their message to market in a big way? Nope, it's not. Then push it to the side. Don't go down that rabbit hole. So I'm super empowered and have so much time. That's what I'm trying to say. I got all this time to execute on those two things instead of trying to execute on multiple messaging, multiple ideas, multiple products, multiple this, multiple that, being pulled in all these different directions. Literally, I'm going to say 80% of my to-dos slipped away. And it's all been refocused, which is awesome. All right, I've talked enough. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. And we'll end with this, actually. If you want to get in on the next round of the Influence Army opening its doors, if you want to be a member, you want to get into the membership, jump on the wait list. The link is in the show notes. I'm going to give you this link for now, which will always work for this. theinfluencearmy.com/F as in Frank, M as in Mary, L as in Linda. theinfluencearmy.com/FML. And then you can get on the wait list so the next time I open the doors, you can jump in and get after it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.